What's going on, guys? Here back again, and we are here for another discussion video. And I got my boy, King of Locks Lion. Did I say it right?
We're gonna get it one of these days. King Lion of
Locks. Yeah, Locks.
There you go.
Locks. Locks is here. He is here.
That's why I go by Locks. Yeah, that's why I go by Locks because it's a mouthful. I understand that.
I just keep switching. It's the L's. You got too many L's, bro.
You got too. I try to get some W's every now and again.
Hey. Well, we're gonna talk about if this ending was a W or not for Jujutsu Kaisen. Yo, you see that segue? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, we are here again. We did a great episode for it's not even an episode. I don't know why I'm calling it an episode. But we had a great conversation about My Hero Academia. So why not talk about Jujutsu Kaisen? I was like, yo, we might as well start it. We in the heat of it. So let's just jump on it real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's just hop on it. And
that last episode just came out, and there are some mixed reactions to it.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it at all. So I'm excited to really get start the discussion on that. Before that, for the people who are new, who are you?
Oh yeah, so I'm KinglionofLocs. You can call me Locks. I do gaming as well as review content, mostly for trailers or movies. Trying to get into more manga and comics like my man, down here. And so yeah, mostly do single player games, but I do dabble into multiplayer games when I play with other content creators or family.
Hey, Sparking Zero. We got like what? That technically we got like a week. Day. Technically, we got like a week left. Yeah, next week. It's coming out next week. So,
what day next week? I gotta make sure I got
so it's the 8th for the deluxe. I got the collector's edition. I don't know if it's coming on the 8th.
This man is rich. Don't let him fool you. You know how expensive the collector's edition is? Just let them.
It's not that expensive. The collector's edition I really wanted was the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I couldn't get that.
Okay, but how much is it though?
What the collector's? It was like $2. It was like $2.
$2. Is some zeros behind that? Or is it just $2?
See, I got the Bandai Namco deal, not the eBay deal. So
either way, that's rich. That's rich. The Bandai Namco is taking you out.
The eBay deal is like, is this worth it? Am I going to eat for the next couple weeks? It's like, dang, Mort, what the heck? How you just gonna pop up in here? Hold up. Hey, yo, I don't mean to do this, but we're going to have to kick you out, gang. You're just going to have to... I'm sorry to tell you. We're just going to have to kick you out. Yo, I swear I locked the room for 2 people. I swear I locked the room for 2 people. Unless it means... Hold on, let me see. Okay. I think we good. Yeah. That's crazy how he just jumped in. Anyway, that's going to be a random moment in the video.
Popped in.
But yeah, before that, I'm gonna show off. I showed off my Hero statue last week. We got the
man is rich.
JJK. My homie drew this. Vivid. Shout out to Vivid. Follow him on Instagram. I'll put his links in the description. He made this. He hand drew this. He also drew the Sukuna picture I got on the, you know what I'm saying, right there. The Sukuna and Jogo. You probably can't see it that well, but
I was about to say, you might want to either like take another picture of it later on and then show it.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. But yeah, let's talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. First, let's do a brief overview of how we gotten into the series. If you want to start, it's up.
Okay, I'll start off.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna lie, I found out JJK from the anime before I saw about the manga. And back when I was watching the anime of it, I was like, okay, this is really good. I heard a lot of the similarities that this is like the diet version of Yu Yu Hakusho / Bleach, where we got Yuji, and I was like, okay, I can see the strength or the kid with the powers. We don't know where he got it from or how he came to be. With the mixture of, actually no, it was more so the parallels from Naruto and Yuji. Like I would see fan arts of like uh, adult Naruto meeting like a baby or a kid version of Yuji, and both of them looking at each other and their demons inside.
I
Like
saw that. That was a
yeah,
fire picture. That was a
yeah.
fire.
So
It was like a
I'm like, what is
daycare where
that?
Luffy
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
that one.
fire. That was fire drawing.
Yeah, and I'm like always looking like, okay, what's the parallel? And people was like, he also has a demon in him, and I'm like, okay. And so I'm watching it, and like, yes, he does have a demon, but his demon does not fuck with Yuji at all. This is like if Kurama was like, I don't care about you at all to
Yeah.
Naruto. Like the talk no jutsu did not work at all.
Yep.
Like I was like, okay, this is kind of nice, and like no matter what. Sakuna was just like, I don't fuck with y'all. I'm just here to survive, and this brat is the only reason why y'all still alive. And Gojo, I can see why he was a fan favorite. I will say that while he is a bad dad, Toji was my favorite character. He was gym goals for me. Like when I see him it made me want to get a whole black shirt and some baggy white pants.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Toji's my favorite character. That matter of fact, Toji's my favorite. That's my favorite character right there. That's my boy.
That might be next cosplay. That in the sword, the little.
I gotta get the worm thing, you know.
Yeah, that might be my next cosplay. I might work on get a black Toji working out.
I gotta do a workout. I gotta actually get off my ass if I want to do that. But I actually got in to Jujutsu Kaisen with the anime before the manga. My homie, he said he was going to see JJK Zero. He was like, "Yo, I got you a ticket. You want to just come?" I was like, you know what? I might as well. So this is the time I had HBO Max, and I was like, that's when I'm like, all right,
you already got like you make it feel like that was just yesterday, Jay. I just damn, I get paid the next day. It's okay. I'll be back.
Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, this is expensive. But I watched JJK on HBO Max. Oddly, it was only on HBO Max when I was looking for it because I didn't subscribe to Crunchyroll. That was the only other site I think it was on. And I was like, let me check it out. And I binged it. I was like, you know what? All right, this is okay. This is okay. I think the dynamic of Yuji and Sukuna is what really drove me to watch it more because I was like, oh yeah, he's not going to change. He doesn't want you at all. Like he's like, bro, like when I get the chance, I'm gonna kill you. But I'll chill. And Mahito was one of my favorite characters. Then I saw the movie and I was like, wow, this is incredible. But yeah, everything was average until I started reading the manga, and I read the manga right after I saw the movie. JJK Zero. The day after I started doing the manga reactions, that's when I got to the Gojo Pass arc, and I was like, okay, now this is what I'm talking about. Then we got to Shibuya, and I was like, oh, like
yeah, they were cooking.
I was like, what is?
The manga only people that like, if y'all like it now, wait till you get to the Shibuya arc. And I'm like, okay, it can't be that good. And
I was like, yeah, because I feel like the first season was very average. It was very anime-esque.
I will agree with you. I think the first season didn't get good for me until that second intro, and they like fooled us. Like they had the intro. So those that didn't watch the second intro, you have like this pleasant ending with Yuji and this random boy that we're assuming that we're gonna meet later on in the show. And so you keep watching that, and people that watch intros normally know that like whatever happens in the intro sometimes happens in the anime, or like actually happens in anime. But when you get to that scene where the boy actually shows up and like Mahito turns him into he fucks with his soul and makes him a monster, Yuji is pleading to Sukuna like, hey, can you change him back? Can you change him back? Or like, can Mahito change him back? And neither one of them are changing
hell
him
no.
And he said, fuck you. And then you got both of them laughing at Yuji.
I was like, this is different.
This nigga was supposed to come back, and he does not come back at all. That's the first time the intro has ever fucked with me, and I'm like, I was not prepared for this. And then the scene, the parallel 1-for-1 of watching it in the anime and in the manga, like it looks like that. That is amazing.
Yeah, but like I enjoyed my whole ride throughout the experience the series. Now let's talk about the importance and anticipation of the Shinjuku. I mean, we had the Culling Games. The Culling Games was like a battle royale, and then right when right when Gojo gets unsealed, that's when I was like, all right, it's game time. Now, none of us knew it was going to be the final arc, but we just know shit was going to happen. We just know shit was going to happen.
So, do you count the Culling games and when Gojo got released as two separate arcs?
Yes, I hit it right when Gojo got released. That's Shinjuku from that on. That's
Really?
Shinjuku from that on. Yeah.
Okay. I took that all as like because I figured they were still technically in the Culling game. So
they're technically still in it. Like, but I just took that as like this is completely different. This is separate from what we was doing. This is not the battle royale we was doing before.
Okay.
So I took that as like as soon as Gojo got unsealed, then we were in the new arc.
Okay. I do feel like manga wise, it did feel like a separate arc because it's just how they stretched it out.
Yeah.
I always counted them as the same thing, but I see that.
Yeah. So there was a lot going on,
Yes.
Right when everything seems to be good, everything seems to be hopeful. Yeah, we can say Gojo. Let's get to it. Sukuna comes out, breaks Yuji's pinky, feeds it to Megumi, takes over Megumi, and I'm like, "Hey, yo, what?" Like,
yeah. No one was expecting that. I did not think that was his plan. Like I knew he had a reason why he made that binding vow with Yuji. Like, hey, give me like a minute with your body, and he's like, okay, as long as you don't hurt nobody. And he's like, okay, I ain't gonna hurt nobody. I honestly thought that one Yuji would have counted himself, but it makes sense why he didn't count himself.
Yeah, he's so selfless.
Yeah. But even then, like the breaking the pinky and then forcibly feeding, that's kind of like I guess I can't see that just being like he took that without any pain. Like
So it's binding vows are very weird, and I guess it's just to the stipulation of what each user think of it. I'm guessing Yuji thinking, as long as you don't kill no one. That's what I'm thinking. As long as you don't kill no one, as he meant by hurt, because hurting to Sukuna is like you're out the game. You're out the game. I'm not gonna hurt you. You're gonna die. So that's the way I took it. Once Sukuna got into Megumi's body, I was like, I have no idea where the series is going, because this is just so like that was honestly the whole purpose for Yuji being there, in my opinion, was because he is the vessel of Sukuna. Once that's out of him, I'm like, what the fuck?
I honestly thought that. I was like, okay, now that you already had the community of watching JJK and reading, it was like, Yuji is not the main character. He's portrayed as the main character, but he is not the main character. And the only thing keeping him going was the fact he had Sukuna. Yeah, he had above average strength and everything.
Yeah.
But fighting against cursed creatures and people, he was a normal person basically at the end of the day.
Right.
So without Sukuna, we were like, okay, what is he going to do? And out the gate, when he realized what happened, he jumped off of the one building to Sukuna and fighting him and shit. And like Sukuna was shocked. He's like, "How are you able to do this? I was the reason, right, to keeping you alive." And he had made like a notice, or like I guess he saw something in the head or figured out what Kenjaku was doing.
Yeah,
he was like,
"Oh, he's from back then." Yeah.
And the readers were like, "What does this mean?" And people were like theorizing what Kenjaku and Sukuna had in common and shit. And I will say what ended up happening wasn't too far off what a lot of us was thinking.
Yeah,
I just think that.
Yeah, but yeah, it onto that to where Gojo got unsealed. And then he just popping on. First of all, it was just the aura that he had, where he your first day out the box, and you're looking dead in the face of the opponent that one put you in the box and the one that stole your best friend's body. I was I thought Gojo. I actually thought one of two things. I thought Gojo was going to come out the box and be a villain because his mind was so messed up inside the box, and I also thought that once he get out, he's just like, I don't care. I want all the smoke. And just start fighting people.
Well, they portrayed it in the anime, and I think I have to go back and see if they did it in the manga too. But the walls itself of the prison was never able to actually touch him. It looks like he had like his... So like, I don't think it really affected him. Yeah. And he can constantly replenish his curse technique energy.
Yeah.
So I feel like he could have gone for forever. Now my question is, what the fuck he did for that X amount of time? Because he came out in a whole different outfit. He looked like he got swoller
I think.
than
Well, because when he came out, he was underground, and he had to fight
right.
all those Chris spirits. That's what I'm thinking. He came out with his whole fit ripped up.
Really?
That's what I think. Because they said he
Okay.
fought, and then Kajal was like, "You're a monster." Like when he came,
Yeah.
it's like you're a monster. But yeah, I don't think he was doing anything in there because he said it was like time went by and then time didn't go by. It's like a long work shift, is the way I think he described it. It's like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. But yeah, moving on to now. Excuse me. I say the beginning of the arc, the main event, the fight that has been built up since like chapter what 3-1.
One, I think, because
Yeah.
they did the first part of their fight was at chapter one. Gojo and Sakuna.
Yeah.
Gojo like wasn't really trying against one finger Sakuna, and we were thinking, okay, Sakuna's gonna get washed. There ain't no way he gonna be able to keep
Yeah.
up with. He wasn't able to back then.
Yeah.
He's a lot stronger now. He has a better control, or at least more an understanding of the 10 shadows than Megumi did, which
Yeah.
I go like Sukuna was a genius. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So like, I like what he does with Megumi's abilities more so
Yeah.
than what that Megumi did.
Absolutely, I do. Because it shows that he's a genius. Like
Yes.
these are the strongest characters in the series, and I feel like this fight did that so good. This
Yes.
fight, I argue, it's probably one of the best modern shonen fight that we've had in a long while. The only one I would say that's like same level, Author versus Dragon from Fire Force, but this one I was like on the edge of my seat every single week.
So I like that you picked that one only because you find out around that time the connection to Fire Force with another anime.
Yeah, right, right.
And so I like because at that moment you realize why this why he's like how he is and why his
Yeah,
weapon is so overpowered. Um, I like that. I do agree that fight, well, the Sakuna versus Gojo fight, is really really good. My only issue is the end.
understandable. Like
Is the
understandable.
is the
I
end, and
that's
that's my thing. I feel like the fights are really good. Most of the fights that Gege has done have been really good, paced really well, and the satisfying ending. I feel like the two main endings that people were expecting didn't get the justice that they wanted.
okay. I see what you mean. Um, my that's funny because my problem with it was I thought the ending was fine. My problem with it is like I wanted to see Sakuna like Sakuna, not Ten Shadow Sakuna. I wanted to see Sakuna versus Gojo. Like I
The
wanted,
hiding there.
yeah, so bad. I wanted to see a Hollow Purple and the Fire Arrow clash with each other, like do like a beam struggle of the two. And I was like, why we could have had that, but we didn't. And I was like, all right, I guess.
So I don't know. I don't know exactly where I heard it from. I don't know if it was like someone from YouTube or like I read it. But they were saying that the reason why Sakuna couldn't do the fire arrows because he was constantly doing binding vows on himself so that way he can do moves a little bit easier against
Yeah,
Gojo. So like I think it was for him to do the fire arrow, he has to also use his dismantle and cleave already, and
yeah,
then trying to do like his shrine. He was like, okay, I can't. To not be able to do that, I'll do another binding vow to make his other attacks stronger. I don't
yeah.
know exactly where I heard that from, but I remember someone had mentioning that or reading up on it. Like that was the reason why he couldn't use the fire arrow as quickly or as much.
Yeah,
Um,
it had to like warm up. I forget the exact reasoning. Now to the ending of it, I mean, we're already in spoiler territory, so
Yes. So
yeah,
it was a good fight. It was
yeah,
a good fight back and forth. Like you got to
yeah,
see both of them
yeah,
get to their limits. We were wondering like how Gojo was going to beat Maharagan. Like that was Sakuna's like ace in the hole. Is that he just needed to stall out until Maharagan's wheel was able to adapt to infinity and the Limitless,
Right.
which he was able to adapt to Infinity, and I think a Limitless. So all Gojo had was
Yeah,
Hollow
Infinity.
Purple, right?
Yeah. He he
Mm.
he adapted everything. He adapted the blue. I'm not sure if he adapted the red, but he adapted to like the Infinity and
Yeah,
cut through the barrier and all.
yeah, and so the only way Gojo was able to at least get rid of Maharaga and damage Sukuna heavily was like he did a Hollow Purple, and like
Which was set
you
up
think,
amazingly. That
yeah,
that
like
that chapter, I was like, "Yo, okay,
he was the
Gojo is,
strongest. He is the
yup,
strongest sorcerer of today against the strongest sorcerer. Period. And
yup,
that meme has circled around here a lot because like that was the best way to describe them
yeah."
two.
Now, that chapter, when they said Gojo won, I really was like confused. I was like, "Where can we go now?"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Now,
you're
I
like,
was
okay,
like, "Where can we go?" Because if Gojo truly won, the only thing he really doesn't have anymore is his domain expansion.
yeah,
And I was like, if Gojo's nerfed that way, sure, I'll take it. But I was like, I don't know how the series can continue after this. And then he had a week break. And then the next chapter, I was like, oh, what? That got
so
everyone.
after we saw like the flash the explosion of the Hollow Purple and it was like Gojo won. It's like, yeah, we had the break. We get to next week, and next thing we see, I think it's the first frame or the second frame, we see Sukuna just talking about like how he was able to figure out that once Maharaga gave him a blueprint of how to cut through the infinity, he was able to do it himself.
Yep.
The next page we see is Gojo looking like an Among Us character. He's just one torso and arm on the floor, the other torso just
Yep.
standing up, and he's like, "I will never forgive you. I will never forget you." He's dead,
Yep.
and like that's the first 2 pages. And like when you get the leaks of it, because people are already saying like Gojo's not gonna make this, he's gonna lose. People aren't believing it, and then when you actually see the actual leaks of it and the actual manga, you're like, there's no way that he lost. To the point of which there are motherfuckers even today still saying he's gonna come back. So like they
Series
they
is
they
over.
believe it.
Series is over, bro. Like, actually,
No,
by the
like,
time of this recording, the last chapter came out today.
yeah,
he's
Buddy,
he's he's not
he's
he's not
dead.
coming back.
He's dead. And the crazy part is like when he died, he was like, I don't know how I was gonna be able to beat Sukuna. I don't even think that he was going to, even if he didn't have Maharaga. But Gojo's at an airport, which is like the pathways of souls. He's meeting all the people that had died, like his teacher,
Yeah, yeah.
Megami,
Principal Yaga,
Yaga,
Gato,
and
Nanami,
yeah,
Hibara,
he met all the
Rico,
people,
like yeah,
and they were
everyone's there.
telling them, yeah, they were telling them like, hey, you can either go back and be, Satoru Gojo the strongest, or you can like move on. Or no, you can go back, but you be reborn, or you can move on. And we didn't get an answer, but it was plain that like
Yeah,
he was tired of being the strongest. It became a chore to him. Like when you're that strong and you don't have nothing to challenge you, you get bored. And
yeah,
he was like, I don't know how Sukuna can do this because it's boring at the top,
yeah.
basically.
I
Um,
I love that. The
yeah,
sense of being lonely because you're this strong and not having an identity, and your only identity is being the strongest. I felt that was a good conclusion for Gojo, just to be like, I am Gojo, and I have all these people around me. You
and
know,
that is good. I like
yeah,
that. Like my only issue is how we got to that beginning first 2 pages. Like if we had a satisfying like let me see the slash, I I,
yeah.
I would have been nice. I would have been like,
So
okay, the rest of that would have been cool.
I would have even preferred like if after the flashback we just saw like a shockwave just around the city and just like buildings collapse, and then you get Sukuna talking like, I had to do this, I had to do that, I had to do that, and that's how you got cut in half. I would have took that, or like someone drew a page of remember where Yuji was fighting Sukuna and you saw that one line like across his face.
Yeah.
Someone had that, but it was just a pitch black page with a line across it. And they said that would be like their version of the last page where it says after Gojo won, they will have that little dark black panel
Little
with the
slash.
slash. and then you
That
just
would
get
have
to
been
that.
good.
I would have been like, yeah, and that would have stuck with us for weeks. That would have been like, well, what do you mean? Well, how you gonna go on break after this? You know?
That would have been good. But
Yeah.
like just going on break and then like surprising us, shocking us with this,
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Like
Yeah.
there are some cases where show don't tell looks a lot better than you just telling us something and then just,
Yeah.
especially when you're doing manga, like the half of it is visually. So like if you're
Yeah.
just talking about what happened afterwards and we don't have any way to see it, kind of defeats the purpose of it.
Yeah. And I think that from what we experienced, that's a trend with Sukuna when he's killing someone. That's
Yeah.
like Dean, Strong, Gojo. Like none of them really got off screen, I would say, because
Even yeah, Gojo, he got burned. Like you see, like he had the arrow up
Yeah.
and was going to send him up. And even though you didn't see him get like the arrow burn him,
you see him on
you
fire.
saw him. Yeah, you see him on fire.
Yeah,
Um,
we saw the
shit,
slash.
the slash when he fought the special grade curses and he was like domain expansion and he was like, "Damn, I was meaning to cut you up in like 4s. You cut up in 5s. You
Yeah.
saw that happen. This time you don't actually see it when he fought Maharagan.
Right. It's wild. But again, I still think this is the best fight in the series, in my personal
Yes.
opinion.
It is a good fight. The beginning, middle is good. Just that part to the end is the only thing.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that when animators do it, they do it.
I feel like they are. Yeah, I feel like they are. I feel like they are. Again, animes are fans of the series, so
Yes.
you know. But that was a great fight, and then we led into a disappointing fight of Kashimo versus Sukuna.
Yeah.
I was clickbaited on that because I was like, yo, Kashimo, he about to put the pause on Sukuna. Like it wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to be as a fight as good as Gojo Sukuna, but I was like, Kashimo, this is your time, bro. You had your like big fight. Honestly, your fight with Hikari is like top 5 in the series, and then both of y'all do nothing.
Yeah, that was okay. Also, I gotta ask for the Hikari fandom. What music you think they're gonna have him play? Are you think it's gonna be the TikTok music they be having him play, or like there's
I don't
other
think
people that
so.
have fan theories? Okay, so there's a fan theory, right, that the games that Hikari be playing, he be watching are those love animes. So instead of you be playing that one that he's seen on
Club
TikTok,
song.
it's more so it's gonna be a love song that he's like moving down to, like how Toto, how Toto be dancing, like how he be sounds like that.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think that'll fall in line with him.
Mhm.
Kashimo versus Sukuna was quite a disappointment.
Yes,
But it was one where I laughed because I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "There's no way." That was your identity, and I thought you was going to do something more, and you got waffled. Sukuna didn't even think you were serious. Like I was like, "Dude, what?" And once seeing that, I was like, "Bro, there's no way we're going to beat him. There's no way he was going to beat him."
Okay, so I will say in his defense, while he is ass and he was claiming to be the strongest, one, I think none of them niggas just have protection against electricity. Like,
yeah.
That's
No,
always
yeah,
why.
yeah.
But like, if Sukuna had not got his little staff to turn him back to the high-end era Sukuna, he was already damaged. He was already like pretty badly banged
But
up.
that was his trump card. He said if he gets damaged heavily enough, he'll revert into the Heian era form.
Right. If he didn't have that, I think that fight would have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Also, Sukuna's ego, like
yeah,
I mean,
he was.
We'll talk about that later, but Sukuna's ego was just wild. After that quick, 2 maybe 3 chapter fight, we see Yuji. We see Yuji and what's his name, Higuruma in the air. Then we flash over to a completely different fight. Tagaba versus Kenjaku.
I hate that shit. I really do, because that was blue ball the fuck out.
Fandom hated this, man. I enjoy a reread of it, but placing that right after Gojo, I was like, I just want this was needed. This was needed.
We did need a break. We did need a break from the Sukuna fight, like the Sukuna battle royal, because he was going through these niggas.
Yeah. It was, and I thought it was a nice palate cleanser, and know how strong Takaba was, and I was interested to seeing like him fight Kenjaku, and I was like, there's no way Takaba is gonna like kill the main villain, or honestly, well, he wasn't the main villain, but I was like, I don't think he like Takaba's gonna take care of him at all. He probably would just weaken him at most.
I do see that. I didn't. I wouldn't have been surprised if he did beat him because how they worded him is that he could have been as strong as Gojo, if not stronger, if he just willed it.
If he knew his curse technique, he would have been
Yeah,
OP.
yeah. I will say I like the little buddy cop, little slice of life. I called it that they had with the two of them. Like
Yeah,
Kenjaku made like Taba made Kenjaku feel like, best way I can jokingly say it is that he made him feel like a real man, not like since the last man he was with. So
right.
we'll look at that.
I
Uh,
The reason I enjoyed the read of this is because knowing Kenjaku's whole plan, he
mhm.
wants to everything he's doing is just to find a sense of something that's unpredictable. Then you fight someone who takes curse techniques and like has a curse technique that completely reverts everything you ever thought about with it. And he's just like, bro, you know what? This is pretty fun. Even he said when he was talking to Choso, he was like, yo, what if the merger just has a funny face? Wouldn't that be funny? And then he got into like something where Kajaku, where he's having a blast.
Yeah,
So
like they had a nice little buddy cop.
right. And then, Kenjaku at the end of it, Kenjaku's like, you know what? You're pretty funny. Wham! Instantly. And I was like, you know what? But I get it. Like,
Yeah,
it was like, I
yeah.
get it. But, because I really wanted that Yuta Kenjaku fight.
Oh
From
yeah,
the
yeah.
moment Yuta said, I'm going to kill Kenjaku, I was like, oh, Yuta's dying. Yuta is dying by Kenjaku.
Nah. Okay, so I didn't think he was down because I didn't think. Okay, so I didn't think he was going to win it as easily as he did, or like go about it the way he did. But I knew he had to get that run back, especially since he beat up Gege, not Gege,
Gato.
Gato the first time around. He was like, I wounded him. Gojo, didn't do what he was supposed to do. Let me make sure that my master doesn't have to do that again. He shouldn't have to try and bury his best friend a second time. So he
Right.
took care of that. Now I will say when his head did get cut off and he had made that like he had the screen had made it look like he was about to like do some type of secret attack. That's the point where I thought, damn, Yuji not Yuji
Yuta.
Yuta got fucked up. And so now Kagaku has his body and Rita. I was like, damn, he's gonna come back on their side now. I didn't think he was
That would
gonna
have been
survive.
scary. That would have
Yeah.
been a horror movie. But I like that because we always have those moments. It's like, well, why didn't the heroes do that?
Mhm.
And then the heroes do that, and then it was like, why are people upset? They found the opportunity, took it, and succeeded, and it was like, all right, let's go. We got to go to the
No,
next one.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And
Right.
like you
That's
can
why.
see
Yeah, I'm not
that
mad,
he was
but
no, yeah.
I wanted to fight. Like, I'm not mad, but I wanted to fight.
The fight
So
was
it
really
was
nice.
like, it was like bittersweet, It was
The fight
very
was nice.
bittersweet. I was like, all right, I guess. After that, we then get to Sukuna versus everyone, and my lord,
That was a battle royal.
this was. It was like every plan they had is like, this don't work. Crap. All right, how about that? No, that don't work. Crap. All right, how about that? That don't work. It just shows the mental stack that everyone was going through for this,
They had
and
backup plans for their backup plans.
but you had to. You
Yeah.
had to. It was like this.
Right.
This threat is no joke. So we have to pull out everything. I did like seeing the growth of Yuji with how much he was doing in this fight. He popped off. He truly popped off. However, I wish we got like a training arc before the Shinjuku showdown.
That was
I know a lot of people say that.
yes, and I agree with you on that. That was one of my nitpicks about it is that they had backup plans and we as the viewers we found out the backup plans why they were happening. So like
Yeah.
something happens, Sukuna he's being Sukuna was able to counter that. Okay, we're like, what the fuck's gonna happen next? The guy is like, they're already like, don't worry, we have something to plan for this. Oh, okay, I guess we had a plan for this. So Kuna trumps that plan. Don't worry, guys, we have a plan for that. Oh, okay. It just seems like you're just writing this off as you're going along. Like
So
you just.
I feel like I like the fact that we found out during the fight because it kind of puts us in the perspective of Yuji, someone that they like. We only told you like few of our plans. We can't tell you everything. So we was like in his perspective, it's like, oh crap, okay. Whereas like remember Toto came in, he was like, they're probably fine, and he usually was like, all right, probably, I'll take it. Let's fight. So I like that whole thing. I liked everything that build up to that. Oh my bad.
Oh no, no,
I didn't know you had.
okay. So yeah, I do like that. I to the point of which I like the amount of people that showed up, like the Easter eggs or the special, like the people like I can't remember his name, the dude that can buff while also nerf you. Him coming back,
Miguel.
yes, I
I was
like
like,
seeing
bro,
him
why are
coming
you
back.
here? He did nothing, and I was like, bro, just
Big
go.
everyone. He was going. He was like, Gojo was like, hey, he's the only person that if this is like a marathon, you don't want to go up against him. But
Yeah.
like him being there was cool. You have Magami. You had Toto there. You
Yep.
had Maki. She was doing some damage. She was actually able to stab him.
Duh.
They had us for a minute thinking that the first grade or special grade sorcerer, that nigga with the sword, was going to do
Kusakabe.
Yes, Kusakabe. Yeah. They had us thinking for a good issue and a half. It was like, only one left is Kusakabe. What is he gonna do? And Kusakabe, he was like, you know what? I ain't got no other choice.
Yeah.
He was actually fighting and shit. And
he was doing it. I was shocked. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was unfamiliar with your game.
They had us thinking he was gonna do it, and Sukuna was like, no, I was literally just toying with y'all and cut that nigga up. We had Yui. He was there, like getting people in and out.
Yep, he was like, bam. May should have joined in the fight. I'm gonna be real.
He was not.
I was like, she was not coming, but I was like, bro, get in the field. So her crows did stuff though. She at least did something with the crows, and I was like, you know what, cool. I'll take it.
That was the furthest that she was gonna go. And we had some losses. We lost Ace Venturi, the Asian guy whose name I still can't remember. I ain't gonna lie to you. The lawyer, the one with his
No, he came back.
No, but I'm saying like he died. Like okay,
he
came
died.
back.
He was out of the game. He was out of the game.
Yeah. Like his broken ass ability was out of the game. We lost Choso. We lost him, unfortunately.
Yeah. Damn, I was like, bro, that hurt.
Yes,
that hurt. Hurt seeing him go. I was fuck. I was like, damn.
We had lost Gojo. Yuta came in. He came in and he was able to fight. That's when we found out that he was able to use Cleaviness. He was able to use Dismanter, not Cleave.
Yeah, it was Dismanter because of Yuji. And I was wondering why it was so weak when he used it. I was like, this is like little scratches. I'm thinking like when you got, it's like you ate his finger. I'm thinking wham, but
you'd be able to go.
I was like, all right, I guess. But that later played along, Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking as to why he was able, like Yuji had the ability, is that when Sukuna was inside of him, he had engraved his curse technique. Because spoilers, he is his nephew. That they say that Yuji's
not even his nephew,
father,
just his because he was a vessel as well. But they also found out, that's my nephew.
That's his nephew. Okay, like y'all look similar. Like okay, cool. Yeah. It turns out that his father was Sukuna's soul twin, and that when Sukuna had ate his twin down the line, he was reborn. And Kenjaku, when he had his mother's body, it gets convoluted. Like,
I do wish we had a better explanation of that. But I think the Sukuna fight was very entertaining.
Yes,
I had a blast reading it. But let's talk about some criticism, some praise about it. What did you think of the final arc? We could go into flaws, all that. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. My only flaw, if I had one for that fight, was the Gojo and Satoru. Not Gojo and Satoru. The Sukuna and Gojo fight. Just that part. Mm-hmm. How everyone was like just funneling, like at him, funneling at Sukuna, and Sukuna was just knocking people down every now and again, beating up, like knocking back Yuta, not Yuta, Yuji,
Hmm.
and keep going at people. Like they're all fighting him, giving them everything they have, and Sukuna is for the most part he's beating them down. Like we're wondering how they're gonna win, but each time that they are fighting, wearing him down, Yuji's getting a little bit stronger or getting more understanding of his ability. And
Yeah,
then just being able to hit Black Flash after Black Flash after Black Flash,
yeah,
he's getting stronger. And you're like, okay, Yuji can actually win this.
yeah.
Okay, so another critique now that I'm coming back is the domain. Like, what
Yeah, we
is
didn't really get a.
his domain?
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get a. We didn't get a name. We didn't get like.
Nothing.
I mean, I'm assuming it's just. I don't
Like,
know. I don't know.
yeah,
Like, I don't know.
he's
Yeah,
like,
I can't.
I got desperate. I just threw some fingers up. He
Yeah,
was like just did something and just okay, and then not really a complaint. I could see why he gave up, but when they were actually starting to get into Megami's soul, like get them detached, and Yuji's actually there saying like, "Hey, get up! It's time for us to go." Megami's like, "Nah, I'm Kuji. I don't want to
I
leave."
don't. I don't blame him. I'm gonna be real.
I don't
I don't blame. But I was pissed off. I was like, this is the wrong moment to do it.
like you see everything.
Give up
You see this.
later.
You
give
see
up.
this.
Give up after. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
like they're
put you in
doing
a room. We'll
everything.
let you rest. But right now we gotta go. like,
It's like,
like
no, I don't want to leave.
I was like, bro, I don't blame you.
I heed.
I did have some issues with the pacing of it at
Mhm.
times. Certain parts where it's like Kusakabe, I was like, okay, this is gotten a little slow, and then it ramped right back up. I feel like after the Yuta portion, where Yuta jumped in and Yuji and Yuta were fighting them, the Maki portion, which is strange, 'cause Maki's my third favorite character in the series. I felt that part was a little bit slow too.
Yeah.
When it, it had a lot of pacing issues. Also, that very jarring moment from Gojo to Takaba to back to Sukuna, that was a major like whiplash, I would say.
Yeah, it definitely switched gears abruptly, especially when they had that scene where you have Yuji coming down and Sukuna's like, "Okay, what are you gonna do, Brat?" And
Right,
then we go to a totally different fight somewhere else. Like
right.
I'm trying to figure out why Yuji has claws, why he
Yeah,
has a
exactly. We
gauntlet.
were all like, what? Like,
Yeah, like
we were
what did
all
we miss?
confused.
Reading
Yeah.
art.
I criticism Sukuna using the binding vows. He was using it too much, and I really thought we was gonna see like I thought he was gonna lose because of a binding vow, like because he broke a binding vow. I thought that's why he was gonna lose.
I didn't see okay with how with how much he does it and how knowledgeable he is with like curse techniques and binding vows. Like he even knew what Oh Boy's technique was, and he knew to have his weapon so that way it didn't like take away his curse technique. It took away the weapon itself.
Right.
So I feel like he wouldn't have messed up on that. Now I do think that he would have realized, damn, I have a binding vow for this, so I can't do this anymore. I think he would have said that, or at least would have thought that inside. But I don't think he would have forgot he had a binding vow for something and then tried to do it and then got cursed for it.
So
That I don't.
the only reason I think that is because it's like when you're in a video game tournament. There's
Mm,
a thing called mental stack. You got
mm.
to add so many things together that one slip up can mess you up. Just actually, it happened in the fight. Sukuna forgot about the divergent fists, and
Yes.
he slipped up. Like you got so many things you're thinking about at the moment that
Mhm,
this one small thing that seems so insignificant could
mhm.
play a big thing on you. So that's when I thought I was like, okay, maybe the binding vow, breaking the binding vow, will be his fault.
Okay. Okay.
But hey, I was like, all right, I guess not, because I really wanted to see what happens when you break about it, because they were gassing it up. I was like, hey, yo, don't do that. I was like, all right,
Well,
why?
Yuji kind of did that when he forced Sukuna to switch back, and that like Sukuna was like, "Hey, we made a deal or a binding vow that we switch back only agreed upon. If you break it, then I like this shit like this happens where he got to
Okay,
stay a little bit longer than he had
when
more
did that
control
happen? I
when
don't
they were
remember. Like,
when they were fighting the cursed spirit that first time around, and they were like, okay,
Oh,
he lost his arm, and he's like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. And when he heard that uh the demon dog was able to howl, he could switch Sukuna over, and he was like, damn it, Brad, I didn't want to be switched over.
right,
And when he was able to take care of the demon, he was like, you can come back now. And he couldn't come back. He was
right.
like, oh, damn, it, because he had broke the vow that they had set upon each other
That's
that they would
right.
switch.
That's right. Okay. Okay. Damn, I forgot all about that. That was I forgot
Yeah.
all about that.
It was like
What else? Trying to think.
the ending to the
Pacing.
fight.
I thought it was okay. He turned to a
Uh,
glop, and I was like, he got a little speech. I just glad Sukuna stayed 10 toes down. He's like, hey, bro, like, don't try to sympathize, talk to me. I'm a curse. Like, I'm a
the-
curse.
one way or another, I'm like, I'm a curse. This is how I'm gonna be. This is how I'm gonna stay. And I can't be mad at that. Like he stood on his business. He believed that what he stood on. And he was like, you know what? You can talk all you want. You can try and save me, but there ain't no saving this. I know
Yeah,
what I am at the end of the day.
right.
And I do like that. I do think it's funny that at the end of that part, Megumi was like standing up. It's like, you know what? I want to go back. I want to go back. And Sukuna was looking back at him like, I'm fighting for my fucking life. And you wanna what? Hold on a second. You wanna go back? He's like, yeah, I want to go back now. This. Do you see what I'm doing right now? You see what I need you to go sit down. Go lay back down. Your sister is dead now, bitch. You ain't got no reason to go back. It's like, I got friends. Your friends? Nah, I killed most of your friends. You don't got no reason to go back. Go lay back down. It's like, nah, I think I want to live now. I want to live.
Now, talking about, since we got to the ending, let's talk about like the ending of the series. I don't know how you feel, and I'm very curious. I'm very curious.
So right. So after we get the actual 20v1, that is an actual 20v1.
That was
We get
everybody.
we get the little calm scene, like we see that everyone that we thought had died, for the exception of Gojo, did not actually die. All of the people were healed and they were brought back. Also, Yuta had Gojo's body when he had exhausted all of the curse technique from Kenjaku's ability.
Yeah.
We thought he died. He did not. Rita was keeping his body alive. He's
Yep.
still alive. Everyone is alive. We're like, okay, cool. That was nice. I like that little breather.
I like that chapter because it really,
Yeah.
Gege was like, bro, I know how y'all think. This is why it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it's like, that's fine.
And I was like, I was fighting that crew. I was like, bro, like, what did Yuta should have been the first one. I was like, if Yuta was the first one up, Sukuna would have locked in and killed everyone. Because Sukuna could have just killed Yuji and Higuruma as they were falling down. It would have been like Slash. Like, what?
Y'all coming down?
It's because they exploited his ego and he locked in too late. That really.
That makes sense. I'm
downfall.
okay with that. And nobody technically died. So the only one died is the one people did want to die, but like again at the end of the day, everyone's still alive, so that's cool.
Yeah.
We are now, I think we're now able to use some of the hidden shadow techniques that you have to either see or
the new shadow style.
Yeah,
simple
like
domain. Simple domain. Yeah.
Everyone can do them now, which that was cool.
Yeah.
My issue is the last chapter where we get introduced, and I think either the chapter before of this new threat where like this lady sees that either her husband or I forget who he is to her. His eyes are bulged out, and we're like, why does he look like this?
Yeah.
Who has manipulated him? Like, it was Mega, not Megami. If we didn't know if it's Mahito or another curse that's now
I never thought of Mahito.
Really?
Yeah, that never came to mind.
Yeah, see, that was the first thing I thought. I was like Mahito, because like maybe his curse had came back, and because they were saying like curses can always come back. So
Yeah.
I figured
that would have been great to see Yuji come in. Bah, 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 bah. Like,
Yeah,
I told you, like I told you not to come back. Now look at you, dumb.
But like the next issue is we see the group that everyone's back. They're chasing after the user, the cursed user, and like they're talking to him. They're like basically talking him down. He was trying to talk to this girl, and that's why everything around her he was making messed up. Like it was his technique that was doing it.
Yeah.
Um, they off screen capturing him. He's with the police, and we get a flashback to Yuji and Gojo talking. And basically, Gojo was like, "Hey, I want people to be stronger than me. I want people to like basically forget me. Like he wants people to like move on." And he's like, "I'll never forget you." And like the message that Gojo told Yuji told the person that they captured. Um, and like and like I think it was Megami asked Yuji what he did with the finger, basically, and he was like, "Hey, I put it back where it belongs because at least make a powerful talisman." And that's the end of it. We see everyone, a picture of everyone going off in their own separate ways, and just the finger in the box, like how his shirt looks,
Yeah.
and that's it, and then that's the end of it. Um, my only issue that I have with it, if this is the end of JJK as a whole, and I know I memed about it for the My Hero, like we're gonna get a My Hero 2. I still believe that. If we don't get a JJK 2, the ending just kind of felt sped along way too fast. Like the bad guy, the ending fight that we have with this person, it didn't need to be there. Like we had that flashback. If that was the only thing was forward, then that's cool. The merger, what happened to that? Is the game still happening? Like I just feel like we needed another issue. Two
Yeah.
issues after that, it just seemed way too fast.
Yeah.
And it's just now like we just have people walk off into the sunset. Good times. Like
Right.
I don't know.
So I do agree with that. I felt like if we got that, chasing of the curse user, maybe like 2 chapters before, and it was wrapped up 2 chapters before, I would have been fine with it. I said this during my reaction that I'd rather had that talk with Sukuna and Mahito throughout the whole chapter.
That too happened. I forgot about it. See?
I thought that was great, and it really, I don't know, it really showed a different side of Sukuna that I was like, I appreciate this so much. Instead of him going south, he actually went north. He was like, all right, you know what? I did everything I could. Maybe, I'll change paths. And I know a lot of people were saying this is so out of character for Sukuna. I was like, not really, because in the Yorozu fight, he said, if you beat me, I'll marry you.
Yeah.
So it's like everything he's done was about strength. Now that he lost, he experienced something he never had before. He's like, okay, these were my ideals. I lived it to the fullest. And here I am. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down a different path. And I was like, I was like, that's understandable. And then Mahito's stuck in the middle, stuck in limbo. And I'm like, that's even more perfect. I was like, that makes sense for both characters. But I really wish we had a full chapter of just them just talking back and forth. I would have preferred that so much more.
Just give us more to a more satisfying ending for that. Like it's good to see the group back together. It's good to see that everyone's going off to do their own thing. I just feel like if we had something like we had a break before this chapter had came out. If we had maybe another issue, to be selfish, I know, but like we had an issue last week and then this one, I would have been like, okay, I would be satisfied.
Yeah,
but like there was stuff that was missing in between.
Yeah, I feel, and there's still stuff about the world and the power system I still have lots of questions on. Which
there are other families.
Yeah. Well, kind of now, because I think they're all done. Like the Zenin family got wiped out. The Gojo
those
clan,
were the three main.
Yeah, Gojo was the only one left, and I think Kamo he went back to his mom. So it's like all the clans are kind of done.
Well, those are the three main ones, but like there were other towers. Like we didn't get to know about them. Like that would have been nice.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I hope there's a part 2. I'm a faith of a mustard seed right now. That's how big my hopes are.
Yeah.
I don't think there will be, but I hope. And if there is, I'm going to be in line for it.
I joke about the My Hero. Just how they ended.
It's not happening.
It can happen.
You want part 2? We got vigilantes. It's somewhere down there. Vigilantes, okay?
We're gonna get Vigilante too.
Yeah,
Don't even get me started because like Vigilante not being nowhere in My Hero, even at the ending, did kind of bother me. Like the fact that he didn't have old boy's shirt, like that would have been nice.
That would have,
but like how they ended JJK, I feel like if they don't do a part 2 or give us like a special issue, just satisfy the like give us a little bit of a story a little bit after this. It ain't gotta like be nothing like major, but just more of what happened for the group. I feel like everyone just showed up and then like we get like those that you thought had died didn't actually die. Those that you like thought hadn't like Navarro, they're like, oh, y'all thought she died, she didn't actually die. Here you go. Like that kind of just gave us something for that last little happy ending, but then that was it. So like maybe do like a I don't know, a 15-page episode or some shit like that.
Just like do like a 50, like do a small like what Bleach was doing with the Hell arc. Just give us a long little thing, and we just call it that. Or what Naruto did with the springtime thing, the Sarada story.
Yes, that would have been nice too.
Yeah, I would like just one volume of just a little extra. Now, how fans will remember this final arc? Oh man, my comment section on my last chapter, because I for every last chapter I put like thank you to author as the title for it. Just to thank him for all the work that he did. Giving us entertainment, and people were like, "Why would I thank him? This ending was trash." I was like, "Bro, first of all, I'm not." A bad ending or not, I'm not going to ignore the good times I had with the series. I talk trash about Promised Neverland so much. That ending was terrible. But I still come back. I'm like, the first arc and the Goldie Pond arc, great. Those were absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm like, guys, y'all gotta... But y'all, like, it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep.
It could be a good anime and just have a bad... I mean, it could be a good manga and just have a bad ending. There are a lot of good mangas that have bad endings. I'm looking at you, Attack on Titan. Like...
So I read that when it happened. I was like... I was humbled. Well, not humble. It just felt good because the Attack on Titan fans needed to be humbled. I was like, it's about time. But however, I heard the anime did it a little bit better. So I was thinking about rewatching the full anime. And just so I could get the maybe it will change, maybe it will not. But
the scene that people don't like is quicker in the anime, so like it's like one thing. And
is it the?
It should be me, not him.
Oh my god, I hate that. Was so jarring.
That's quick. Like you're reading it, and then you're just like you're reading it, looking at the picture, then reading it a second time. And like,
bro, when I read that, I was like, I had whiplash. I was like, Eren? Yeah. Like, that's how I felt. So it wasn't that. It wasn't that bad. Again, ending bad or not, this has some of the most hype moments I ever read. One of my favorite modern shonen arcs that I've read. Some of my favorite characters that I've seen in this story all pieced together. And it's like, bro, I understand being upset with it, but at least be upset where it makes sense, okay? Yeah. Like, people would be like, bro, I just didn't feel satisfied with this ending. That's totally valid. But... fuck it. I'm gonna call him out. Someone tried to comment saying, "Yeah, Gege doesn't care about writing. He just likes fights." Okay, if he only cared about fights, we wouldn't have inventory. The Culling Games, yes, there was all fighting, but there was a story going through it. We would have had a lot of stuff. The importance of hidden inventory is so crucial to the story and the overarching plot of the story. It's insane. And people saying, "Oh, I'm calling this like the best new gen or the best modern gen manga." First of all, no, I'm not. I think Dandadan is better than this. Gachi Yakata is better than this. Chainsaw Man, I like that more than I like My Hero more than Jujutsu Kaisen. So let's calm down, all right? Let's pick up, let's reread it, and let's all calm down. Because a lot of things do make sense. Now, with the criticism with the trio doing that one mission, I understand. I wish that never happened either.
Yeah.
It felt out of place.
That's how I felt with when we had just that random... I take it back to the last video we did. But back to the My Hero, where you just see that random boy, or at least that event, and you're like, okay, what is this significant? And that ending made more sense because you had the lady that had
Yep.
paid it forward. This one we just have one mission off screen just for a
Yeah.
flashback for him to take that one line from that whole flashback and give it
Right.
back to this random person.
Yeah.
Like
Now, some people was like, they didn't have a burial for Gojo. Why didn't? I was like, what sorcerer got a burial in this whole series?
that is
Why are
true.
we shocked all of a sudden? Why are we just suddenly like, oh, like no?
No, like
I'd rather not see people standing at a grave looking at him, but actually applying the lessons he want in the dream that he want and fulfilling it. And I feel like that's what Yuji did with that sorcerer. Like, yo, everything's going to be great. You're going to be okay. Just come to us after everything is all figured out. And I was like, you know what? They're they are the strongest. We are the strongest.
and they had a burial, not for him, but Megumi went to his sister's burial. Like
Yeah.
that was more important. That was mine.
That
like,
was
'cause he
way
didn't get to
more
see her-
important. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
he didn't get
way
to see
more
her
important.
die.
That was his whole motivation. That was his whole motivation. Also, I was reading the chapter and I was talking to Smalls and I was like, you look at Megumi's dog, you see how big that dog is?
Yeah,
That thing was huge. Now, thinking about it, Megumi saw his sister die by his hands, technically. He was in the bath of darkness for Lord knows how long, maybe 3+ months. Got mad infinite voids hitting him. That's an unfathomable amount of negative energy. Negative energy makes your curse energy stronger. Imagine how powerful he is now.
yeah. And they said that like once he loses one of his shadow, like his shadows, the other ones get stronger.
Yeah.
Like when he lost the white dog, the black one got stronger.
Yeah.
That nigga lost like half of his arsenal.
Yeah, they're
So,
gone. They're gone.
Yeah, I'm not surprised the this one dog is as big as he is.
Yep.
So yeah, that makes sense. He probably doesn't need any. Like I'm sure he could use some more, and that would have been nice to see if he's able to capture any more.
Yeah.
How is Nabarro working with missing an eye? Like we didn't get
Yeah.
to see all of that. That would have been nice to see in either a last chapter or another chapter moving on.
Yeah. But now as a series as a whole, like how would you rate what's a rating that you would give it?
Series as a whole, this was really, really good. Albeit with a little bit of the issues with just how fights, for people that said that like he's only care about the fights. The fights are good. It's just not some of the endings of the last ones were not the best.
Yeah.
I would give this. I give it an 8, maybe a high 8.5.
Okay.
And that's for the characters. I really enjoyed a lot of the characters and the development through them. The story, for the most part, was interesting. The power system, I could keep up with it. I was like, okay, that makes sense. I can see how that goes about.
Yeah.
Maybe the ending could have been a little bit better. That would have been the reason why the fight scene, those last fight scenes, docked to the point. I think that was really about it. Yeah, and maybe some people didn't need to die that died, but I can't really argue the ones that didn't need to die.
Yeah.
So maybe if he didn't die, Yuji would have been dead. Yeah, it's not bad. I definitely would. I don't mind rewatching it and rereading it again. Nothing's ever really a 10 out of 10 nowadays, or even most animes back then. But yeah, that deserves like a high 8.5, low 8. I don't think that's pretty. That's
I
pretty
got
good.
you. I would probably give it an 8 as well. The moments I loved, I absolutely loved. However, there are certain things where I was like, I wish that was expanded on. I feel like Principal Yaga dying and them not really doing anything with the abilities for Panda. Just like the 3 cores, I was like, then I was really.
We only saw the core once. They only saw the.
We
Rhino
saw
core once.
we saw that Rhino core, and it was like that. I was like, bro. I wanted to see more Heavenly Pact people. Just to see the different variations of it. Not all of them has to be like Toji, but some like Mekamaru was. I thought that was like, his version was really cool. How he's like Iron Man and controlling the puppets and all that.
That was nice.
I desperately wanted to see Mahito come back, but I understand why he didn't. There's certain like domain expansions I wanted to see, which I was shocked. I felt like if the character has it, they should use it.
Yeah,
But we
that was the
didn't
whole
get
point
that.
of them. It was like it's your trump card. Like a
Yeah,
lot of people didn't really get to use them as much, or if they
yeah,
did, it was like, why don't you do it? Well, I know mine's just gonna get crushed by yours.
right.
Oh, uh,
Yeah,
you know that,
yeah.
but let me see that. Let
I
me
want
see
to know.
that.
But
Uh,
again, that Shibuya arc, I think is just like that. That's a S tier arc for me. I
Definitely.
had a blast reading that. I don't think anything will match the feeling that I had with Shibuya. However, I had a great time with it. Had a fun time reading it. Power system was cool. Characters was great. Story was very easy to follow for the most part.
Yes.
And it was just it was a great time. It was a great time.
Yeah. I don't like how people were comparing it to, or like people the meme that is he's like Timu's Ichigo, because like he's like Yusuke and they're the same. Like yes, that there's a lot of similarities in this anime as to other animes, but like a lot, like I said, a lot of animes do that nowadays.
Yeah,
So
it's a
it,
shonen.
it helps. Yeah,
It's a
it
shonen.
helps
You
clear.
gotta hit the basic tropes. It's gonna happen. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yeah, that was pretty much our review. Unless you had anything more you wanted to add.
I'm trying to think. I pretty much no. That was it. Oh, I had one thing I was curious about, or I didn't know. So Yuji ended up giving up one finger for Sukuna so he could turn Megami into him,
Yeah.
and then another finger for Yuta. But he can do reverse technique. Why hasn't his two fingers not came back yet?
So when it comes to reverse curse technique, this is my canon for it. This is my canon. If you already don't have that before you learn reverse curse technique, you can't get it back. That's my head canon for it. Like,
Okay.
let's say you have like a crazy scar like across your chest, and you finally learn reverse curse technique. You revert back to the point where you still had that scar to like that peak, not to the peak where you was previously. If that makes
Damn.
sense. That's
Okay.
my that's my that's my headcanon.
And that makes sense. I will say I don't understand. I can see that for why when he lost the finger to turn Megami.
Yeah.
But I thought he learned it by then when he gave it to Yuta.
That's right, because they said they used it last second. And he probably doesn't want, knowing how Yuji is, he probably wants Yuta to keep that ability. So, because if you use reverse curse technique, the abilities, he doesn't have it anymore.
Really?
Yeah. He could bite, Rika has to eat a portion of the body of someone. If they use reverse curse technique, then that becomes null and void.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know about that. I need my fingers back. Like,
hey man, I mean, you had a punch.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially since all you do is left, right. Like you got these hands, and then this whole hand. Nah, I need to
Try to use a
finger
piercing
back.
blood. You just
Yeah, nah.
Although if you do a piercing blood, he could. That would be sick.
he already do scissors now, so like it's modern day guns.
Like that would be. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Thanks again for joining me.
Man.
I don't know what other series is ending anytime soon. I don't know if you read Undead Unluck. That looks like it's getting towards the end.
I am reading and I'm watching that. They're doing the new episode just came out. The new issue just came out not too long ago.
Oh, the manga. Okay, I'll probably check it out. I gotta catch up because I think I ended at like chapter 130, but I recently watched the anime and I was like, God, how was this not advertised? Like,
I don't know. It's good.
I seen way more advertisement for Don this month than Undead Unluck ever got. And that anime, they put their foot in that.
Which I gotta watch Don. I got to watch that, and then the other one that Satoru's Day Off. It's not Satoru.
Sakamoto Days.
Yeah, that one I also have to watch. You be hyping it up, so like I'm curious now to watch.
It's a good read. It's a good.
I'm think curious.
The fights in there is better than the ones in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I gotta watch.
I really like Sakamoto Days. Yeah.
Okay.
And anytime you want to see them, you feel free to come to my channel. And
All right, here you go. Let's go plug. Here you go. Segue.
Speaking of plug, if you want to plug your shit again.
Yeah. King Lion of Locks. Again, do gaming reviews. Yeah, I'm getting back into it now. Now that I'm a little bit more stationary now, so I'm able to drive now. Now I got wheels again. So yeah, I'm gonna be
I need a
posting the
car.
videos.
I need a car badly. Not really. I just want
Yeah,
one.
everyone. I feel that shit. But yeah, I'm gonna be start posting some videos back up again, so y'all guys will catch me. Let's try to get some videos with again. I'm gonna
Yeah.
Shanghai him over on my side.
Spark and Zero. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm putting any Spark and Zero stuff on my channel. I don't think I am. But
apparently some streamers should do that. Some content creators should do that.
If you want to make it to the top,
yeah,
everyone got a plate. Just grab it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, if y'all want to see me game, just go over the lives, bro. Got help my man's out.
I do have him on there.
Yeah,
don't play with him as a breakers. He'll take everything. Everything.
Yo, Breakers is such a fun game. But yeah, Bleach when that comes out.
That's gonna be good too. Yes.
Bleach, yeah, I can't wait for Bleach. But
that looks like it's gonna be a good arena.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to see more Jujutsu Kaisen content coming up, we got it all month. We got everything on. Starting One Piece on the channel. Coming up this month, we're going to be doing Naruto discussion videos, My Hero discussion videos, Jujutsu Kaisen discussion videos, Bleach reactions, Down to Down reactions. It's a busy month for me. So, yeah, JJK ended at the right time. It ended at the right time. Now I can, can get back into it.
You got the others. It was holding you back. You don't need it.
Yeah, right. I don't need it. Although it's like top 50, 45 of my top 50 videos are Jujutsu Kaisen. So I'm going to milk it for as long as I can. If you see a Jujutsu Kaisen honestly, if I put a channel update video and I put a Jujutsu Kaisen on the thumbnail, that gets more views than any other.
That is crazy.
Yeah, hey, on the Jujutsu Kaisen channel.
I will say though, like you put and the first thing that does come up is your AJK.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like this.
That's been feeding me. That was gone. I gotta. I was like, I guess I'll join the pirate ship now. I got.
You get Smalls on here with you.
Yeah.
You get Smalls on here. You get the positive vibe and everything.
Yeah. He might be negative here and there, but yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Check out Locks. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more from me. It doesn't really matter, but subscribe to Locks. Definitely subscribe to Locks.
And him too.
Yeah. But thank you all. Until then, where to find .